It's great to have you with me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. This is episode number 163 entitled, If Not Now, When? I have been at the bedside of a number of persons as they died. I'm sure close to 20, frankly, perhaps even more. And I have heard so many people say, I wish that I had blank, gone to school. I wish that I had spent more time with my children. I wish that I had been a better husband. I just wish that I had. I seldom hear them say, I wish I hadn't. It's not usually that. It's the things that people have not done that they regret. I think I share that with you because some of the greatest clarity in life comes at the end when we really do look back and review our lives and consider what we didn't get done that we really wanted to accomplish, but we didn't do it. So, my question for you today is if not now, when? Realistically, I'm going to say to you that if you are a single mom with a 1 year old and a 3 year old, it may be a really difficult time for you to think about getting your master's. I acknowledge that to you. You better have a whole lot of support in place. You better make sure that in your broad map of your educational process, you also leave a huge amount of time to spend with your children so that you can find some balance. So maybe even now is the right moment for you. We do have to make those kind of assessments. Sometimes for a guy who has 4 children and a wife to support, and he's 33 years old, and he said, boy, if I'm really going to do this, I need to go do this. And so I'm going to take off and spend 6 months traveling around the world. That's probably not the right answer, just so you know. I'm not putting this as a blanket statement to give you approval for whatever wild-eyed idea you might have. What I am saying to you is there are a lot of things in life that if you want it badly enough and you believe in it enough and you think that it's the right time, that you will find a way to pursue it. And that's what I want you to get a hold of today. If not now, when? It is, in general, great advice that kids go to college right out of high school. That's not always the case. I didn't, and I wasn't ready yet. I had a full nursing scholarship to Wayne State University in Detroit. I left my head off. I did not want to be a nurse. Had to be the furthest thing from my way of thinking at that time that I would ever be. 12 years later, at 30, I graduated from nursing school, and I was really excited to do it. I wasn't ready to go back to school till I was 26, 27 years old. That's okay. Every one of us has our own timeline in life. However, if you're in college and you're nearing the end and you go, yeah, I really want to work on a master's, and this has been very difficult for my family, but there isn't ever going to be an easy time. And so I'm going to go ahead and go straight into my master's. You might need to sit down and have a very lengthy and involved conversation with your mate, especially if they're carrying the ball predominantly with the kids and the house and even working to help support you. You might say, babe, I'm seriously considered just going straight into my master's. It seems like a good plan. I'm going to do a lot better in my career field with it, but that's another year to year and a half on you and hardship on us. Is there a way for us to work this out? You might be in the middle of a job you really despise, and you just need to get out of there, and you need to make a giant leap, and it's going to take 6 months of training. It might take you 2 years to save up so that you can afford to make that kind of a leap. Okay? I'm not talking about everything needs to happen this second. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about looking at your life in the broad scope of things and saying, wow, I'm 35 years old. If I'm going to make a big career jump, I should probably do it now. I don't need to stay in this career field for 20 more years and then think I'm going to jump at 55 and have all this training to go through. By the time my kids are grown up, that's about where I'm going to be sitting. No, I need to make this jump now, but I need to do it in a way that is measured and reasonable and organized so that my family will be all right. And so I need to have this conversation with my mate, and we need to work out financially how this is going to happen. Maybe I need to work 2 jobs right now for 6 months, and we need to really buckle down and get serious about saving money. No extravagant going out to eat, no new car over the next couple of years. the kids are going to have to drop dance lessons or piano. We're going to really buckle down and make this happen. And it will be a short term sacrifice for a long term goal. You might have to have your now just a little bit more into the future than you thought. I think that's also equally true about travel. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, we can't travel, we have little kids. I traveled with little kids all the time. And I traveled with middle kids, and I traveled with teenagers, and I've traveled with my kids as adults. Oh, there's a way. It is a question of how determined are you to do it, and are you willing to find a solution that can make it happen? Really and truly, Steve Irwin, who is now passed on, but chased around this globe after Wild Things and took his daughter Bindi and his wife with him. He didn't look at that as impossible because he had a child. He looked at it as, how can I make this work with my child? That's what you have to do. You have to say, how do I make this work with my child, with my children, with my mate, with my family? It is possible. I promise you, where there is a will, a strong and determined will, there actually is a way. My question for you today is, in your personal life, you go, one day I'm going to lose weight. One day I'm going to start to exercise. One day I'm going to get disciplined about my life. One day I'm going to stop acting like such a jerk. One day I'm going to stop doing drugs and alcohol. One day I'm going to, one day. Isn't today a good day? Isn't a whole lot better to do it now than later, when more and more damage is caused to yourself, to those around you who love you, and to your children? So today is a really great day. No joke. Why not today? If not now, when? Because usually people who say that, they're just looking for a way out of their junk. That's understandable. Oh, I'm going to do that someday. Are you really? What day? Next Tuesday? Before next Friday? What day? When? When? You need to be realistic in asking yourself those kinds of questions, because until you can ask them of yourself, in all fairness, you have no business asking them of your children. You have a 12-year-old who's really brilliant, but lazy and getting D's, barely getting by in school because they're so busy doing something else they're far more interested in, and school hasn't seemed like a big deal to them. As a parent, you need to get in their face and say, look, you can do better at school, and you're going to do better, and you're going to start now. But if you're a parent whose life is out of control and you're not handling your own things, you're really not in a good position to say that. And I want you to know, I've seen an 11-year-old kid look at his mom and go, well, your life is a wreck. I don't know who you think you are trying to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. What was really sad was the kid was very insightful and he was dead on, straight up correct. And the mom knew it too, not just me. She didn't have a leg to stand on in having that discussion. As a parent, you need to be proactive in your life. You need to deal with your excuses, eliminate the obstacles, overcome the difficulties, and get on with it. If you are not going to live life now, when are you going to live it? And that means the life you long for, the life you desire, the life that is important to you. Let me put a caveat in here for you. You don't look at me and say, oh, well, I can't live the life I really want to because my wife and my kids are in my way. I can't really do what I want to because of my husband. So I just need to leave and, then I can live the life I want and take off and split. No, no, no. Do not ever think for 1 minute that that's what I've been saying to you. When I was a kid, my mom did split. She ran off with some guy. She literally looked us in the face and said, I'm sick of raising kids. The 4 youngest of the 10 of us, we just had to live without a mom. That was really selfish. I want you to know, if you're going to look at me or write me or any other thing and say to me, yeah, I need to go live my life and I'm going to do it, and that means I need to desert my family. Oh, never think that you're going to get a sympathetic ear with me, because I know the kind of damage that causes to a kid emotionally and in terms of addiction, just so many dreadful, horrible, awful things. Don't think that that is acceptable or that that's what I'm saying to you, because I'm not. Let me be perfectly clear. What I am telling you is if there is something you need to do and have wanted to do in order that your life is amazing and full, go skydiving. Learn how to drive a monster truck. Learn how to drive an 18-wheeler so you can go out on the road. Get a college education. Go on a dream trip to Fiji. Learn how to rappel so you can climb up the face of a mountain. Any of those things, do what it takes to make that happen. So that when you get to the end of your life, you don't go, oh, I just wish I had. And if that means being a better parent, being a better spouse, and being a better human, then today is a great day to get on that path. If not now, when? I don't have a challenge question for you today. I think I gave you plenty to think about already. I will look forward to seeing you again soon. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.